Hello everyone, BBD here for yet another unboxing video. You may remember me for some of the other ones I've done, or you've seen me in some of the Versus videos I've done. But today I'm going to be opening Fate Reforged pre-release packs. And for some of you who might be watching this in the future, this is old news. But for me, this is exciting new set, and this is going to be the first time I've seen any of these cards. So I'm ready to battle with endurance and see what we can find in this Abzan box. Alright, so here we have the Abzan box, and one thing I failed to mention is the Abzan clan, I guess is the right word for it, is green, black, and white, and in Khans of Tarkir, it was my favorite clan and featured some of the awesome cards like Siege Rhino, and some other ones like Abzan Charm and Siege Rhino, and then Siege Rhinoceros were some of the best cards that Abzan had to offer. So hopefully there's some sweet stuff from Fate Reforged with Abzan as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just crack right into this and see what we got. And I don't know if I can... I'm really going to have to probably battle with endurance just to open this thing. But alright, looks like I'm getting it. One thing I noted about this box is it says age 13 plus, so I'm already breaking some rules by opening it, because that's not me. Alright, so we have a couple checklist card and a thing. A sweet dice that has the, I don't know, I guess that's the Fate Reforged symbol on it. And we have an Abzan pin as well. So, alright, let's look at what we have in this box. There is a Khans of Tarkir pack, which no one wants to see that, but we have 4 Fate Reforged packs and a pack that has a bunch of, hopefully some sweet Fate Reforged cards. And usually these packs have, these seeded packs just have a bunch of Abzan cards, so I'm actually going to open that first and just see what sweet Abzan cards we have. And I can already see that we have a Dragon Scale General in the front. So he is a rare that has actually the new Abzan keyword of Bolster on it. So whenever he, I'm going to throw some of this stuff out. Alright, the way Bolster works is at the beginning, or at least for this guy, at the beginning of your end step, you can put +1/+1 counters on whatever creature you have that's the smallest. So Bolster is just basically going to make your smaller creatures better. So, alright, well, I'm looking through here and I'm seeing a bunch of cards actually from Khans of Tarkir. So it looks like there's a mixture of Khans cards and also Fate Reforged cards, because we have the Abzan land and the Abzan banner in here. And then we have some other cards. So there's an Armament Core from the old set as well. And we have some of these new cards like Fruit of the First Tree, which has a pretty sweet name. Light Form, which actually this is probably one of the cooler cards in the set, because what it does is it lets you manifest a card off the top of your deck and then attach this to that card. So it's like you get to basically build your own morph creature with Light Form, so that's kind of cool. A couple other Abzan cards. We have Blossoming Sands, but it has the Fate Reforged art on it, so reprinted in this set as well, but with different art. And it looks like a couple of other cards here as well. This pack, nothing too exciting about this pack except the general itself, because the card's really cool. And I think this is probably one of the best rares that you can get for a pre-release, so pretty sweet to see that in our first pack. But let's go ahead and open some of these other packs and see what goodies we got in here. And let's see. Looks like there's an Ancestral Vengeance, which is kind of a cool card. Definitely an Abzan card here where you get to maybe kill one of your opponent's creatures and pump one of your own creatures. Kind of feels like the kind of thing that Abzan likes to do. So I think that card's pretty good for sealed. And we have a Mardu Strike Leader as our rare, and we have an Abzan land as well, which is pretty sweet. But this card might be a Mardu card, but I would definitely play this in my Abzan deck because it is actually really powerful. Every time you get to attack, you get to make a 2/1 warrior. And one of the cool things about Abzan is, like, here we have an Abzan Kinguard. A lot of the Abzan creatures are warriors, so there's a lot of overlap between Abzan and Mardu. So even though this is a Mardu card, I would definitely play it in my Abzan deck if I built Abzan for the pre-release. One other card I want to mention is Dark Deal is actually kind of a really interesting card. It's kind of like a black version of like some of these other cards that we've seen in the past, like Windfall. So kind of interesting design space on that one. I don't know how good it is though. But all right, that was our first pack. Let's see what we got here. Another Ancestral Vengeance. I feel like we're gonna be dying hard with a vengeance in this one. See if there's anything really cool in here. Another fruit of the first tree. So that first tree is really giving off a lot of fruit. All right, so we have a manifest token. That's really cool. It's the first time I've seen that. Basically lets you differentiate between manifest creatures and morph creatures. And our rare is actually one of the new legendary dragons, which is really cool. There is a dragon for each cycle, and this is the Sultai Dragon, but it's actually really awesome. It's a 3/7 flying creature with hexproof, and whenever a dragon attacks, your opposing creatures get -1/-1. So not only does he do that himself, but if you have any other dragons that get to attack with it, you can give your opponent's board like -2/-2 or -3/-3 and kill a bunch of the creatures. Plus he's flying and has hexproof, so he's really hard to deal with, and he has a big butt, so he's hard to kill in combat. This card's actually really cool. I feel like this card's going to be a card that we will see in Standard, so pretty sweet to open that. See what we got for these other two packs, and then we'll finish off with our cons pack. Hopefully we'll open something sweet like an Ugin. That would be awesome. All right, let's see. We got Harsh Sustenance, which is an interesting card. It's basically deals X damage to a creature or player, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures. So this card is one of those cards that can just be a giant blowout depending on how the game's going. If you have a bunch of creatures in play, you can just deal like a ton of damage and gain a bunch of life. So kind of a cool card there. Here's an Abzan card that has the bolster card on it. I think this card's actually going to be really good. 2/2 flyer for 4. Those are usually okay and limited for like the pre-release. And then this one also has the ability to bolster 2 when it dies. So whenever it dies, it makes your worst creature better. So pretty cool card. This card's interesting, Lightning Shrieker, because it is a common that has a lot of abilities, which is kind of a rare thing for them to print. Usually commons are really straightforward, but this set's kind of changing the dynamic on that. This is a common that has 4 different abilities, so I'm really kind of surprised to see this card, and it's kind of cool that they decided to do that. Basically, it has Flying, Trample, and Haste, and then at the beginning of your end step, you shuffle it back in your deck. It's like a Lightning Axe with abilities. We have Fearsome Awakening, return a creature to the battlefield. Pretty sweet to go with our Noxious Dragon, because if you return a dragon to play, it gets 2 +1/+1 counters. And then we have a Noxious Dragon itself, which is pretty cool. Dragons are always really good in Limited, and this one is no exception because it has flying, and when it dies, you get to kill a creature that they control. So pretty sweet stuff. And then to go with all our awesome black cards, we actually have a Tazagur the Golden Fang. And even though this is another Sultai rare, like this is the second Sultai rare we've opened, we can definitely play this in our pre-release deck because it is black, and it actually makes use of one of the things that's coming back in this set, which is Hybrid Mana. The ability on Tazagur is 2 green, blue, so you can use either green or blue to play it. So you can play Tazagur in your black-blue deck, but you can also play it in a black-green deck. And since Abzan is green, black, and white, we can actually play this card and not even have blue mana. So it's actually really cool that we've opened a Mardu rare and a Sultai rare, but they both would be awesome in our Abzan deck. So, and then here's actually the 2/1 Warrior to go with our rare, so that's really cool too. We're basically opening all the right tokens and creatures. But let's see what we got in our last pack here. Good old Typhoid Rats. I remember this from Innistrad days. We have Ethereal Ambush, and I actually think this card's, it's not really an Abzan card or anything, but it's a really cool card. It lets you manifest the top 2 cards of your library at instant speed. So you get 2 creatures, you get basically 4 power at instant speed, and you can unmorph those cards if they're creatures into something really cool. So this is one of the coolest cards in the set, and it's only a common, so that's interesting too. They really push the, they push the commons a lot. So, and then we have Great Horn Krushak, which is basically the next in a long line of Siege Mastodons. The old 3/5 for 5. Shuhei Nakamura would be very happy to open this card. He has a history of playing the old 3/5 for 5s. All right, our rare for this set is Rally the Ancestors, and unfortunately, this is not a very exciting rare. There may be a lot of cool things you can do with Rally the Ancestors, but not really unlimited, because you have to exile all the creatures you get back with it by the time your next upkeep happens, so you don't really get to ever attack with them. You can maybe use them to block your opponent's creatures, but you never get to attack. And then we have a random foil and a tips and trick card. So nothing too exciting in this pack unless you're a Typhoid Rat fan, which obviously I am. So I was a little bit excited, but wasn't as good as it could be. All right, I'm opening the Khan's a Tarkir pack right now. We've all seen Khans before, so nothing too exciting here, but I'm going to hope that it's a Siege Rhino, so I'm actually going to start from the back, and I'm just going to hope for a Rhino. So here's a basic land, and I'm just going to start with a rare and Windmill Slam it, and it's a Sagu Mauler. All right, it's not a Siege Rhino, but that's not too bad either. That's actually pretty powerful. And we have a Ruthless Ripper and a Timely Horde Mate, and a Disowned Ancestor and stuff. So this is actually a pretty good Abzan pack as well. So overall, this was a pretty cool box. We got a bunch of rares that would be great in limited, and I would definitely be looking to build a black-white something deck if I open this, because all of our awesome rares were black and white. So especially the Dragon Scale General, I think that card is amazing. And then especially Tazagar too, the Golden Fang. I think that's one of the best cards in the set. So people haven't really been talking about it too much, but I think it's really cool, and I expect to see a lot of it. Well, that was the Abzan pack. We got to open a lot of cool black and white rares. I would definitely be looking to build some sort of a cool warrior deck with it. Let me know if you guys played Abzan at your pre-release and if you have any cool stories from that. If you like this video, make sure you check out some of the other ones I did. I did all 4 of the other wedges as well, not just Abzan, although I gotta say it is my favorite. But yeah, if you're interested in any of that, make sure to check that out. Make sure to like and subscribe below if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of its kind. And for BBD, thanks for watching.